Last one I'm going to cover for you today is Down syndrome. It's a genetic condition that causes physical and intellectual delays. Okay? You're going to look for delays physically and intellectually. They're going to have speech difficulties. They're going to have an increased incidence of psychiatric disorders. Okay? These are one of your primary guys. They're going to have something else other than just this going on. Alright? You're going to have a lot of low tone, okay? But yet they're some of the strongest people you're ever going to meet. Okay? Low tone means those ligaments are very loose. Do you do wrist locks in your school? Do you do arm bars in your school? Alright? These guys aren't going to feel it. They're going to let you go, 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 go. Those ligaments are so loose, they're not going to feel it. Okay? So make sure you're careful for that. Increased joint mobility goes right along with that low tone. They're going to have underdeveloped balance, coordination, cardiovascular endurance, and respiratory system. So if you're doing a fitness class, understand, they may not be able to do every repetition. Okay? That cardiovascular system is not going to be fully developed, regardless of age, to keep up with everything. Challenges that they have, they're at risk for joint injury. Anytime you're doing any kind of joint locks, you got to be very careful with these students. You got to make sure that their partner knows to be very careful. Alright? Because they're at risk for injury with that. They're going to have a slower learning process. It's going to take them time. You know what? They're used to this. Their parents are used to this. This isn't new. Their parents aren't going to expect them to keep up with whoever they started with. They're not going to expect to keep up with whoever they started with. They're used to moving at a slower pace than everybody else, whether it be in school or anything else that they've done. They need a routine. Okay? Again, we're back to that having a routine that you do and acknowledging if you're going to change that routine. These guys are the most lovable, huggable, in your face, on top of you individuals. Okay? Down's kids are. They want to give you a hug, they want to be right there in your personal space. Alright? They're going to attach to a specific individual. Make sure that individual is comfortable. Okay? With that. You know, make sure they understand what is going on and why it's going on. Make sure that they're comfortable with that. Alright? That's not something that's scaring them off. Alright? And then the AAI deformity. This is something that is kind of up in the air currently. Alright? It's the atlas axial attachment. But basically what it is the attachment at the base of the skull that allows you to turn your head from side to side. In Down syndrome children, there's a high incidence where that bone that sticks up is very, very short and it won't hold the head on very well. Which means that with any type of whiplash type movement, they're at risk for a spinal cord injury at C1, which basically means they're going to be on a ventilator. Okay? A spinal cord injury at that level means they're going to be on a ventilator. Right? It used to be that the doctors immediately did x-rays to find out if they are at risk for this. Now the doctors aren't doing that so much because the kids get eliminated from doing everything and they don't get to do anything. Okay? But understand that that's there. Understand that risk for those whiplash type injuries are there. You want to be much more careful in throws or falls or any of those kind of things with these students. Alright? What are you going to see? What are you going to encounter? Like I said, they're very ineffective to the point that it's going to make somebody else uncomfortable. You're going to see decreased balance. You're going to have poor coordination, decreased endurance. You're going to have complications from other comorbidities. Okay? These are the things that you're going to see with these Down syndrome kids that you're going to run into issues with. Small changes that you can make in class to include children and adults with Down syndrome. Set your cost rules and expectations from day one. Again, that goes back to that very first intro. Let them know what the standard is. Okay? Especially if it's someone close to you. They've got to know. When they're on the floor, this is the rule. Okay? When we're at home, that's something different. Okay? Just like if you've got kids that take student that goes over and takes and sits and looks with it, sits with him, takes care of the situation there. The main instructor just keeps everybody else moving on. Okay? Know what you're going to deal with, know what's going on. Okay? Don't emphasize rank progression. Okay? Again, they're not big on having to have that immediate reward. They're used to being behind everybody, but make sure that you praise what's new. What did we get? Okay? What's going on? What's new that I have today that I didn't get before? Okay? What can I do now that I couldn't do before I came to class today? Alright? If you guys have Q&A, I know we're pretty much out of time, I think. But if you guys have any questions for me, one, I will go to booth 319, the affiliated acceptance booth, and I'll be sitting over there answering any questions that you guys may have, as well as if you can find me on Facebook, if you go to American Sport Variety Centers, you gotta make sure you include the S, and like the page, you can instant message me on there, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions for you. There are 1,000 different diagnoses that you're going to encounter and that you can deal with. Advertise for that which you feel qualified and capable of handling. Okay? Advertise for it. If you don't advertise, they're not coming in your door. Alright? You gotta tell people that yes, I can do this, yes, this is how I help with you, with this particular individual. Okay? This is another section of clientele. You got on your website, Little Dragons 5-6, youth is your 7 to 10, adult or teen, 12 to 17, adult 18 and up, special needs. It's just one more right there, okay? And it's got its own tab and its own blurb of here's what I can do, here's what we specialize in, here's what we can teach, here's what we can train, here's what we know how to do and how we can help you, okay? Give us a call and we'll help you out with your child and get you some relaxation time as well, because those parents need that break even if it's only for 30 minutes, okay? Make sure this year's a little different on doing your reviews, guys. So those of you that attended today, please, if you have not already, download the MA Super Show apps and put in your reviews today. That's how we get graded on how we did. And make sure that you, even if you don't do that, at least turn in those little postcards that they give you that tell them how I did and what you guys thought of the presentation. Was it something that was beneficial to you that you think you can take home and utilize